Yo, what is poppin', my guys? It is your boy Ashley, and today we are going to be going through our next IBL battle. So as you guys know, we are 0-3. We lost to a little bit of hacks, a little bit of misplay last week. And I do want to be clear, guys, a lot of the times when I say that I lost a game to hacks, that's not to say that I didn't... That's not to say that I made all the right plays and only lost to hacks. I've yet to be in a scenario where that has happened to me. Usually the hacks come as a result of me misplaying and having very limited win cons due to those misplays. So I don't want to discredit any of my opponents by saying that, oh, I lost to hacks, you know. So just a general announcement. This week we are going to be playing Caleb, coach of the Kansas City Nidokings. Sorry. Pretty sure it's the Nidokings. And he's a really cool guy. He made my logo for me, which is always super tight because I was super new to the format. And just to have somebody reach out and drop me a logo was really, really cool, especially one that I like so much and that has been loved so much by the community. So big shouts out to Caleb for that. And he does have a pretty intimidating team. I don't have his full team list here, unfortunately. I really should start doing that. But I will go ahead and talk a little bit about the mons that he brought. He has Skarmory, Jolteon, Skuntank, Nidoking, Mega Altaria, and Cofagrigus. So let's go ahead and tell you a little bit about our team. We have Vikavolt with the leftovers. It's got Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, Toxic, and Roost. This thing has a decent bit into speed to outspeed some of the slower things like Cofagrigus, etc. Mono electric attacking, which is bad because that Jolteon and that Nidoking can definitely kind of put a damper on it, as well as that Mega Altaria. But it really helped a lot with the Suicune. He does have a Suicune. So this Toxic, Roost, Volt Switch, Thunderbolt set was to 1v1 Suicune with enough HP and special defense bulk to roost off Scalds even after being burned. So really, really unfortunate that he did not bring Suicune, because now this thing is much less effective. Yes, it is good for Toxicking the Cofagrigus, as well as basically forcing this Skarmory to switch, but unfortunately the only thing I can really do off forcing the Skarmory switch is Toxic, and he has two mons that just chew that Toxic up no problem, as well as a great defogger in Mega Altaria. I believe it gets defogged. And also, obviously, I don't know what... Wait, pause. Why does a defogger matter at all? I meant Heal Bell on Mega Altaria. That's what I was going for. But hopefully this Vikavolt can at least maybe help us pressure a little bit if we can get rid of the Nidoking or the Jolteon. Just play that little chip game, I guess. I don't know. This set is not nearly as effective as I would have liked it to be because he did not bring Suicune, which I thought did a lot of work to my team. We also have our AV Crocodile. Now, this is a very, very bulky Crook. It's 244 HP with 172 Spadef and 92 attack. It is adamant with Earthquake, Pursuit, Knockoff, and Fire Fang. This set was specifically to 1v1 the Jolteon. After rocks damage or after a little bit of chip, Pursuit will 100% take out this Jolteon. So all I have to do is get the Crocodile in on the Jolteon, which it can chew HP Ice from even a modest Life Orb Jolteon. Specs might cause me a little bit of an issue, but if he's locked into something, I can always make smart switches around it, going into things like Celesteela. So this Jolteon was a huge problem for my win cons, being Celesteela, and I guess to some instance just Vikavolt. Even though Vikavolt was much less of a win con after Suicune isn't coming, but this thing was basically able to come in on almost every single mon that he had, especially if he is running special on most of those mons, which I can imagine there are mons like Cofag he would run special. I'm not really sure about Skuntank. I never played a Skuntank before, and obviously that Jolteon. So this thing is basically just to get in, Pursuit, knock something out, or if I think I can catch the Skarm on the switch, or if I feel like chip damage on the mon coming in is more important, I can always EQ or knock off or Fire Fang. You know, the list goes on. So we have another Assault Vest mon this week. This is Slowking with Regenerator. He has a lot of bulk and HP and defense in order to take on Mega Altaria, as well as something else that he didn't bring, I think. But no, I'm sorry. This Slowking set helps take on Nidoking, because even a Thunderbolt from A very, very offensive Nidoking is only going to be doing about 30% to this Slowking. So as long as we can keep this Slowking healthy with Regenerator, I can abuse moves like Psychic to hit the Nidoking. I can Ice Beam the Nidoking or the Altaria. I do have Scald just to try and get some crucial burns off on things like the Cofagrigus, or even Scald burning that Skarmory would be nice just to chip it down a little bit, seeing as my main way to kill Skarmory is so slow, being Vikavolt. And yeah, that's pretty much. Oh yeah, and I have Dragon Tail just to do some shuffling around if I can get Hazards up, if I can get Rocks up. Just a nice little way to shuffle people around, and you know, it just seemed like a nice move to bring in the 4th move slot. Even though it doesn't hit Mega Altaria, Mega Altaria cannot do much to this Slowking considering it is so physically bulky, and I can just fire off an Ice Beam and take it out. So next up, we have Gallade, our Mega Gallade. This boy right here has, a little bit of speed. We didn't have to run as much speed as I usually do, so we were able to go Adamant this week, which was really nice. And packing a moveset of Poison Jab, Fire Punch, Close Combat, and Psycho Cut, because that hits pretty much everything on his team for super effectively. Skuntank is a problem, but because we are max attack Adamant, it really cannot take 2 close combats. So if I can close combat it on the switch, that is going to be a lot of damage for us, and everything else is taken out with the different variety of my moves. Cofagrigus is a little bit of a problem, not gonna lie to you guys, but with proper chip game, I think we can really work around it, as well as letting Mons, like, let's see, we'll go ahead and talk about my Cradily set, because Cradily was kind of my dedicated Cofag counter. I have Stealth Rock, Toxic, Giga Drain, and Recover, just to Toxic, Giga Drain for health, get rocks up, recover, just all those kind of shenanigans on the Cofagrigus, because there really isn't a whole lot it can do, as well as being just a nice switch in overall to Jolteon. If he is a spec set, I can always use Cradily to see what he's going to lock himself into, as long as it isn't Volt Switch, and just a nice little utility mod. Finally, we have Celesteela. This is obviously Beast Boosh, just mass special attack, timid nature with 124 in speed. I cannot remember what that allows it to outspeed, but rest assured it's outspeeding something. It's got Air Slash, Leech Seed, Giga Drain, and Flamethrower. So those moves just kind of hit everything on his team. If not for super effectively, at least enough chip damage to just kind of dent his team. So I don't really have the late game sweeper that I usually have in this matchup. No form of setup, no Scarfer, just a lot of real bulky Mons trying to do their best. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the game. I definitely am nervous. I've been getting really nervous for these IBL games. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, because I mean, all right, hold on. I always have to do this. I always have to pause whenever it first opens up. He is going to lead with his Skarmory, as I am going to lead Dilly Dally the Cradily. So I felt like Cradily just matched up well against everything on his team. I knew that there was a chance that he could lead Skarm, but I was really hoping he wouldn't. Unfortunately, he did. There's not really anything offensively he can do to me. He can always Toxic me. So there's that. I can't even remember what I do here. It's been a while since I watched this game. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have been super slammed with work and everything. But no matter. I'm actually going to turn on my multi-output device so that y'all can hear the music for here. Alright, there we go. It may be a little loud. I'll turn it down. Anyway, he is going to automatically withdraw on turn 1 and go right out into Altaria, which is not bad at all. I am going to make it a clean little double heal right into my Celesteela, because I just felt like that was the safest play. There really wasn't anything Skarmory was going to be able to do to me. And turns out I caught the Mega Altaria, which is really nice, as he is just going to hard switch out right back into his Skarmory. But as I said, I do have Flamethrower. I decided to go for the Air Slash here, trying not to reveal the Flamethrower yet. And as you're going to see, that's going to do barely anything. He does have the leftovers that are going to rack back up a little bit, and I believe on this turn I think I go for the Flamethrower. Yeah, absolutely. So you can see that speed is for outspeeding Skarmory, I do remember now, and that is going to almost knock him out, as he is going to get his rocks up. Now here I expected him to want to preserve his Skarmory, so I think I went for the Leech Seed to catch whatever he had coming in. But as you're going to see, he is actually going to stay in as we miss the Leech Seed, which really sucks, and set up a layer of spikes. Now, I'm sure you remember from my team builder, we have no form of hazard removal this week, so that one little layer of spikes up is really not good, in my opinion, because that's just that much more damage we're going to take every time we come in. We do have a bulkier team, but not a lot of recovery. We don't have any Wish Passer or anything like that. So that was definitely a misplay there, going for the Leech Seed, predicting him to switch. I really should have just flamethrowered again and gotten the special attack boost, because now he is just going to switch right out into the Jolteon, and I cannot take a Thunderbolt from this range, so I just can't. I'm going to switch right out into you know what it's called, Crocodile. Get that little bit of an Intimidate off, because I am running Intimidate this week, and he is going to go for the Volt Switch, which is really nice to kind of stop that in its tracks. Now, I really wanted to click Pursuit here, but I didn't. I really should have. He is just going to go hard out into Cofagrius, which seemed like a weird play to me. I did just go for the knockoff, though, and as you're going to see, that is going to do a ton of damage, make my ability Mummy, and knock off, I cannot remember what item it is, but something. Leftovers, yeah. So that's good for the longevity of this mon. It does obviously get Pain Split and stuff. Now, here it was I know I did a ton of damage that first time, but it looked a little bit like a roll, and I wanted to kind of make him believe that I could be Scarf Crocodile. And I just went ahead and hard switched out, because next time if I bring it in on the Crocodile in on the Jolteon, I can Pursuit it, and there's a chance that he thinks that I'm locked into Pursuit and then goes into something that I can then hit with an Earthquake or something like that. So he is just going to get the Will-O-Wisp off of my Cradilly. I take this opportunity to get the Stealth Rocks up, because it felt like a nice little play, and he is just going to rest, predicting me to Toxic, I think. So that definitely is very scary, because I do not have much for a Rest Cofagrius. But the good news is he either has to be Rest Sleep Talk, or because he's not Chesto, or just rest and waste a bunch of turns. And I think I have enough things on my team that can come in and threaten this thing, and to where it's not really a problem. So I am going to switch hard right here into Vikavolt in case he wants to stay in. And he is going to withdraw and go, I believe, into his, I was going to say Jolteon, but I was wrong. He goes right here into Mega Altaria. So here, in case he wants to try and set up a Dragon Dance or anything, I'm just going to Volt Switch out. I live pretty much any hit he wants to go for on the physical side, but it turns out he's special. So he is rocking the Fire Blast. He is not going to miss, and he is going to decimate our poor little Vikavolt. But that's good, because it allows me to see exactly how much damage he is doing with the Mega Altaria, and it shows me that he is certainly special attack invested. So now I don't need to try and play with a Dragon Dance or anything, because he simply just doesn't have it. He is probably fully special defensive with something like specially offensive with something like Roost, possibly Heal Bell, but I'm just going to go right here into my Celesteela, as he is going to fire off the Agility, which is very scary. But we're actually... Oh, okay, this is okay. I'm sorry. This is super important. Okay, so I totally forgot about this. After I prepped the team, as you can see, I just read the team straight from my little team builder not subreddit, Discord server. This has Air Slash and no Steel move. That is not what should have happened. We prepped together and all agreed that Air Slash was pretty much useless in this matchup, and that Heavy Slam Flash Cannon would do more. So I had Flash Cannon there, but I did not double check whenever I sent it off to get genned, so we did not have Flash Cannon. Had we had Flash Cannon here, we would be able to fire off the Flash Cannon and almost take this thing out, definitely threaten a 2-hit KO, and it would not be able to, even after the Agility, take me out. But really unfortunately, I don't want to call it a misgen, because it really is sort of on me for not double checking my sets before I sent them off. But that is that's huge for him, because it means that he doesn't have to worry about me taking out this Altaria, especially if he has Roost on this thing. If he's something like Draco, Fire Blast, Agility, Roost, that set could really do a lot to my team. So unfortunately, we do not have it, so we are just going to fire off an Air Slash, I believe, or a Leech Seed. Yeah, which was not the right decision either. I really should have just tried to get damage off, but I figured that I have enough. Since it's special, I can wall this with my Slowking and kind of chip it down with the Leech Seed, at least maybe force a switch. But Yeah, very, very, very not good, seeing as Celesteela pretty much wins me this game if I bring the right set. So here I'm pretty much forced to switch out because I don't want to lose my Celesteela. It still does a lot of work to the other portions of his team. And I figure off the Cradily is just the easiest thing to sack here. He is going to go for the Fire Blast again and do a pretty sizable chunk of damage. If I wasn't burned, I think I might have been able to live another one depending on the roll, because you see I do get the Leech Seed back as well as the leftovers. But that burn is going to put me right back into range of another one, and I think I just sack at this point, trying to throw off a Toxic. Oh yeah, he goes for the Draco. He's not playing any games with the rolls. He just wants his Cradily gone, which is fine by me because this means that he is basically forced to switch out, meaning he's at -2 special attack. It also tells me that he either has Roost or Fairy Stab, right? So here I am just going to go out into Slowking because he's proven that I can kind of wall him, especially since he's special and I am AV. And I can just go ahead and fire off a move here. I am not sure which move I go for. I think I might have just gone for the Ice Beam straight out. Yeah, I think I do go for the Ice Beam, as he is going to go right out into combo. Take those rocks damage, take this Ice Beam, and I actually think I get a crit here. Yeah, I definitely get a crit there. So I'm going to fire off another Ice Beam, just trying to put this thing into range, as he is going to crunch, and I flinch. Which, oh, I'm sorry, I get the defense drop, and I flinch. So it's at this point where I'm like, huh, Crunch doesn't flinch, I don't think. And he reveals to me that he has brought Stench and, oh, what's it called? King's Rock, which brings his flinch chance up a lot on moves that don't normally flinch. Which, you know, it's not a set I would run. I don't really like luck-based sets. I think it's kind of cheesy. I mean, obviously, if that's your strat, that's your strat. It's just not personally a set I would ever bring. That's really all I want to say about it. I'm not a fan of the set. I mean, it's legal. I'm not going to say it's like cheap or anything like that because it's not. It really does rely on luck. But typically, I would prefer to bring sets that are 100% effective instead of sometimes infuriating. But, you know, not my life, not my choices, not my monkey, not my circus. We're just going to go on right back and keep going. So here I'm going to switch out, trying to preserve my Slowking. And I believe I can take a Crunch fairly well, especially after the Intimidate. So I'm going to come in, get that Intimidate off on the Skuntank, and hopefully take this Crunch, as he actually goes for the Sucker Punch. That's a nice free switch in for my Crocodile. Now here, I did not know Skuntank outsped, which is super unfortunate. Had I known, I would have just gone Gallade and just nuked this thing with a close combat, because I definitely killed at this point. That was a huge, huge, huge misplay. One that could potentially lose me the game, to be honest, because I did not know that this Skuntank outspeeds, and because of his great set, he is going to flinch me with the Play Rough, and all I need to do is not get flinched. I'm sorry, yeah, I just sack off the Crocodile at this point, because I was really, really pissed off that he brought that set against me. Again, I don't want to say that the set... This is what I should have done in the first place. I never should have risked Crocodile in that situation, because it was my Jolteon answer. And now that it's gone, Jolteon just kind of has free reign. So you are going to see that I do come in here with the Mega Gallade. I'm able to pop my Mega and pop off an attack to knock out the Skuntank, as he does stay in. I know for a fact he's not going to outspeed me because he's not Scarf. He is King's Rock, which that was a little weird too that he told me he was King's Rock. I mean, I guess I would have figured it out from flinching for all these moves that don't flinch, but I personally wouldn't reveal my sets to people during the match. But whatever, again, it doesn't really matter. I would have known just from the weird flinches and everything. That's what I should have done in the first place. I never should have risked Crocodile, and I lost Crocodile because of that horrible play. Now, he is going to outspeed me. He is going to be able to kill me with Thunderbolt. So here, my only option is just to kind of try and sack off this Slowking and see what he wants to do. I'm going to take so much damage from these hazards because, as I said, I don't have removal. I'm just going to go down to the Thunderbolt. And at this point, because of the hazards and everything like that, I think it's just pretty much GG. He is going to sweep me with this Jolteon. Now, this game, I think, was mine to lose. I really liked my matchup in this game. I think that we had a hard time playing around Jolteon, but I do think that if I had Crocodile right here to Pursuit, like if I used Gallade, knocked out the... If I went Gallade, knocked out the Skuntank and then switched back into Crocodile and then pursued Jolteon as he left because I hadn't revealed it yet. He didn't know I had it. He was definitely at the range to die from it. And we could have very easily won this game with the combination of Mega Gallade, Celesteela, and AV Crook. But that's not how it shook out. We made the wrong play. We sacked off the Crocodile, which was the only thing stopping that Jolteon from sweeping our team. And yeah, super unfortunate. Now, sorry, I'm just trying to stop it at the end before it fades out. Okay, whatever, I'll just do it there. So yeah, really unfortunate, as I said, that we lost this week. When the loss happened, I was really mad, claiming because of that set. I really don't like that set. I mean, I don't even pick Jirachi anymore because of one game I won because I ran Choice Scarf Jirachi, and I miss another. And it was another one of those times where I messed up my moveset, and when I got into the game, the only moves I had on it were U-turn, Iron Head, and something else. And Jirachi was my last mon, and he had something that was immune to whatever my last move was, so I was pretty much forced to click Iron Head, and I ended up flinching his entire team down and winning. I felt really bad about that, so I haven't brought it since. I dropped Jirachi that week, and and I haven't used it since. So I don't really like sets where the point is to flinch out your opponent. I mean, as I said, that's his decision to make. I'm not going to get too overly mad about it because I definitely could have won this game. I definitely had the matchup advantage. It's unfortunate that I ended up bringing the... I'm sorry, I forgot the word for it. The Vikavolt. I feel like I could have utilized that slot a lot better with something like Arcanine. Would have been really nice with Intimidate Shuffle. Possibly to come in on... Like a bulky Arcanine could easily come in on Skarmory and start laying off some damage, throwing off burns. But, as I said, it's all in hindsight. You know, good game to Caleb. I don't want to act like that. You know, I've been shitting on that set. That's just a personal preference. He prepped really well. Special Altaria was very nice. Not as sure about Rest Cofagrius, but I don't think it was a horrible set. I think if he can wall out some of my threats, like I think once I get rid of once he gets rid of Crocodile and Mega Gallade, that Cofagrius could have had a nice little field day. He brought a good prep. He brought a good team. It's just I really wish I wouldn't have flinched. I really wish I'd have made the right play, I guess is the correct thing. I should have always gone Gallade on the Skuntank because I do outspeed. If he wants to switch into Jolteon, that's fine. I can just hard switch back into Crook and Pursuit. Or if he wants to sack off Skuntank and then bring in Jolteon, same story. That Crocodile could have really chewed his team alive because I don't think, unless he was Scarf Nidoking, anything really did a ton of work to that Crocodile set. And I just kind of sacked it off for no reason. Just not thinking in the heat of the moment. As soon as I saw King's Rock, it kind of tilted me a little bit. Not in the sense that like I thought I was gonna lose, but it just kind of frustrated me. Like I was excited I was like really happy with how the game was going, and he added in this element that made it more random than I would have liked. But again, as I said 100 times before in this video, that's all entirely on me for just misplaying around the Skuntank. I should never have given him the opportunity to flinch by going into Crocodile. I did not think to check speed tiering or anything. I don't know how fast Skuntank is. Still don't know how fast Skuntank is, but I can tell you that it can outspeed a Crocodile. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed. This has been a depressing battle, to say the least. We've gotten blown out twice. We played okay and then lost on unfortunate hacks, and then this week we just misplayed really badly and lost ourselves the game. So again, good game to Caleb. Hopefully next week we can bounce back against Noivern. Well, there's no bouncing back because we haven't won. We just need to bounce. We just gotta bounce. We just need to win, and I'm super excited for it. There's actually another little video I'll have coming up sometime soon about my transactions in the league. And yeah, so that's enough about that. Hopefully y'all enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and peace.